Mhm.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. You have Lisa with me, our Director of Product Education. I am Dr. Ryan, Director of Product Development for LiveGood. Today, guys, is a Q&A session, but I want you to know something. So please stay tuned because there are some questions that I've already received that we have never had to answer before. And we want to do something. We want to do something where we get to these questions, we get through as many as possible. And I hope you guys, I know there's going to be some things that you'll learn from this Zoom today. So stay tuned.
Yes. So welcome to our product training Zoom, where you learn how our amazing supplements can help you increase your health span. Before we get started, if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. That way you can get access to all of our videos. You don't miss a new launch, yada, yada. But also comment. We love your comments. We love your feedback. Like to hear your takeaway from what you've learned. So like Ryan said, today is a Q&A. So the last Monday of every month, we aim for a live Q&A because if you notice during our regular trainings, we don't answer questions that don't pertain to the topic that we're discussing that day. So if we're talking about protein, we're not going to answer questions about our new lead, right? So this is where you can kind of throw out the questions. But again, these are product and health related questions. If it has to do more with the business, whatnot, we'll direct those to support@livegood.com. So going into it, I do have a few questions that I've been getting, and that's because we have recently launched our supplement Lean. So I guess the biggest question, it says on there to take 2 before each meal, but some people are like, I only eat 2 meals a day. Maybe there's long-term fasting where you have 1 meal a day. What do you say to that, Dr. Ryan?
Thanks, Lisa. The lean is based, the dosing protocol is 6 a day. So you don't have to be doing it with a meal. Preferably it's 2 capsules, an hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour prior to each meal, 6 capsules per day. But you don't have to do it that way. Actually, it'd be just fine to take 2 on an empty stomach if you skip breakfast or just don't eat and then go to lunch and then you have dinner. So no problem there. And the whole point of that is we did a Zoom on lean, just on lean, but it was talking about how you can titrate the dosing. So how do you increase it? So a lot of times people might feel some abdominal cramping, some discomfort, and that's normal. That's like actually pretty much predictable or expected, but not everybody will feel it. But if you do, you can start lower and titrate up. And so you can start with 1 capsule 3 times a day or 2 capsules twice a day and sort of figure out what works best for you. But ultimately, yes, we want you dialed in at 6 capsules per day.
Okay, awesome. While we're on the topic of lean, here's another one. Can they also take it if they are on like Ozempic or tirzepatide, one of those GLP-1 agonists?
Yes.
And peptides.
And let's not get scared, guys, of GLP-1s. I know a lot of people are taking them. That's totally fine. There are some things to consider, some consequences of taking them. Remember something, foods activate GLP-1, bacteria, all these different nutrients and things will activate GLP-1. It's a normal, that's a receptor, right? That's what the body's looking for. It will activate that upon, typically upon eating and some things that will happen, so that it'll increase insulin secretion, therefore bringing down, helping your body get ready for a glucose load or for a sugar load. It'll tell the brain, it'll signal to the brain, satiety. Let's slow down the eating mechanism now. We don't need to eat as much. It'll slow down the gut transit time so that the body can absorb more nutrients. Typically, that's the way it's designed to work. So don't be scared of it. So if you're on a GLP-1, certainly you can still use lean. There's no problem with that. There's not a contraindication or some reason why it would conflict. It does not. So it's perfectly safe. But one ingredient in particular in the lean, it's the New Zealand hops extract, can and should and does interact with the GLP-1 receptor as an agonist. So it acts in a similar fashion to a lot of those prescription medications. But again, that little bit of duplication, call it, doesn't negatively impact, would not be a contraindication.
Okay. Another question with lean. If somebody does not want to lose pounds per se.
Yep.
Okay, pounds.
Sure.
Okay, so that's the number on the scale. Should they still take lean? Like, what if, I could say this scenario, what if someone, maybe they have diabetes, but they're of weight? Should they still take lean?
Yeah, of course. I think it's more about like what's the the goal for body composition, right? So we're ultimately looking for an improvement in body composition. All of us are. I want to improve my body composition, especially as I age. It's harder to keep on muscle. So do you. So I think it meets everybody where they are. But yeah, ultimately that's what the goal is. But remember a few things. When you take these GLP-1 agonists, and if you use lean and get the benefit of it, then you know that you probably now need to increase your supplementation.
Okay.
That's part of it as well, because again, if you're not eating as much, which is possible, our opinions on calorie deficit are a different conversation. We have talked about it. We're not believers in it long term. But to improve body composition, you need to focus on eating the cleanest foods possible. Lisa, maybe you can comment on that. But also supplementation, right, too, because maybe you're not eating as much now. Maybe your body's not absorbing as much as well, because remember that I just said, the food's moving slower through the stomach. It's not necessarily, you're not optimizing per se the digestion process.
Okay, awesome. All right, skipping to another one that I had someone ask. It was about amino acids and our essential aminos, taking our essential aminos while also taking the whey protein, because you'll see the nice amino acid profile on there. And this is a whole food source, right? So it's just like saying, oh, I had 3 eggs today, rich in amino acids, so I'm not going to take my essential aminos. No, we need to supplement to make sure we have optimal levels. Okay, so again, this is like a whole food source. So this is like your steak, your few eggs. Okay, so yes, you do need to supplement on top of that. And then another one has to do with, I always talk about, or I always push protein, right? We need to make sure we're eating enough protein. And I had someone asking a question about an ideal, like their ideal body weight. They wanted to lose 20 pounds. But that was a small little goal there. So when I plugged in their metrics, so say, the height and weight into the BMI calculator, which you can easily find by just Googling BMI calculator, it actually put them still in the overweight category. So just because you might think like a safe goal is like, okay, I'm not trying to win a marathon and lose, 50 pounds, but I'm going to lose 20. If that still puts you in the overweight category, you're needing to eat the amount of grams of protein per your ideal body weight, not maybe what you want your body weight to be, but what is the right, proper, healthy body weight for you. So use that BMI calculator. Plug in this is just an easy example, plug in your height and play around with plugging in your weight to see what puts you in the normal range for BMI. That's an easy way to do it.
And recognize too, BMI is imperfect. It is not a perfect calculation. I don't know if you're referring to BMI or ideal body weight. There is a calculation for ideal body weight online as well, if that's what you're if you want to learn that as well. So.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Awesome.
Right, let's go in.
Let's go. So Super Reds, I've used this for high blood pressure. Is any more suggestions? Well, for cardiovascular disease, we've done a thing about blood pressure management as well. You can find a Zoom on our YouTube channel. There's a lot of information there. But as far as the Super Reds, it's beneficial not only just for cardiovascular support, but really it's 3 areas. Physical performance, because the dietary nitrates can increase output and performance, and also sexual dysfunction. So the same way that Viagra and those other meds work. So Super Reds has got some really good benefits because of the dietary nitrate pathway.
Yes, but Roberta, to get there, check out our YouTube channel and you'll find that we have Zooms on cardiovascular disease and high blood pressure, high cholesterol, so you can go into further detail there.
Yep. All right. So what new products are coming out? What's some new launches that are happening? So we've talked about the children's, I'm not trying to date this too much, but the children's gummy, multivitamin gummy is coming out, which you guys are going to be blown away. Seriously, nothing like it. You won't be able to even find something close to it. Mm-hmm. There's a hydration stick pack that we're rocking because we believe very much in cellular hydration. It's another reason why we love creatine. Also, what else? PMS support or women's hormonal support. Beyond that, I'm working on a men's hormonal support product. A sleep product, though. You're going to hear it here first. There's a sleep product we're working on. That's before that. Gut. The gut. We are dialing the gut in right now. I'm finishing up the strands of the probiotics. I want to make sure that they're all perfect, that literally they're the best ones that we can get our hands on, and they're active and clean and good and all that. And then lastly is the sleep product. Well, not lastly, they're not even close to last. But the sleep product is looking like a CBN. There's some other ingredients in there too. But if you're not familiar with CBN, you should check it out. Benefits of CBN for sleep. They're really, and we've done a few sample batches, profile, like we've just tried to run them, so they work really well. Yeah. All our subjects have reported back very positive benefits. So I'm very excited about our sleep, our products for sleep. But sleep is a lot about lifestyle. So another thing on sleep, please watch our YouTube.
Yep, there's a Zoom there on sleep.
On sleep. It's a lot, guys, because there's a lot you can do to profoundly positively impact your sleep. All right, cool. All right. Can you overdose on product? Common question. If they're food-based ingredients, the general concept is no, it's just food-based ingredient. But there's some things that you need to keep in mind. Creatine is an interesting one. We do get it from food, but our body also makes it. Makes it and
Did you guys?
no, touching it.
Okay.
Looks normal.
No, every time you look away, it switches.
Guys, I'm
Good.
sorry about this tech stuff.
Okay,
Looking okay right now.
you were saying the creatine.
Creatine, the body makes some, and we get it from our food sources. But the reserves go down as we age. And so we always recommend supplementing with creatine indefinitely. There's no need to cycle on, cycle off. Some things like that, I mean, it's like,
Well, I mean, I think, for example, like our multivitamins are already high doses. Like you don't need to take more of those. I don't know what detail this question was going into. Vitamin D, you want to make sure you're taking it based on your blood work because too much vitamin D can cause toxicity. But when it comes to, this kind of leads to another question that just made me think about, I'm getting constantly, is because the lean has the, the B12 in there. So it's 100 milligrams, per 2 capsules and then
microgram.
Micrograms. And we're talking about taking, 6 per day. With vitamin B12, there is no upper limit because it's okay to go, too high. There is no known upper limit. There is no determined
Well,
upper
I
limit.
think that there's been enough literature and studies to support where you would safely go up to. It's
Sure,
it's
sure.
water soluble, right?
So
So
you
the
would
body would
excrete
just excrete it, right? And like Lisa said, it won't deposit in the fatty tissue like other fat soluble
vitamin
vitamins.
D.
A, D, E, and K are the 4 main ones,
Right.
right? Those are the ones. So, but it's something like a methylene blue. No, we don't want you taking methylene blue every single day indefinitely for the rest of your life. There are exceptions to that, but really it's just because what we're trying to do is trigger the body to sort of optimize the function of the mitochondria, which is a really technical and complex discussion around aging and mitochondrial health and cellular health. But ultimately, I think I'm pretty clear on the ones that you would just do that with, and I think that's the only one, really, truthfully, is that.
Best products to lower cholesterol. Make sure you check out. Same thing. We have a training on it on the YouTube channel. Prostate health. There is lycopene added to the men's multivitamin.
Lycopene's been getting a lot more actually attention on the prostate health. It's an interesting antioxidant, the way that it really deposits in the prostate. It's kind of cool. Lisa was talking about the amino acid profile and the way the amino acid and the complete protein and why you would take amino acids in addition to. That's not, and lately, by the way, the literature on protein is not this 30 gram max per 30 gram per serving digestibility issue. Like we're seeing now that actually you can digest more than 30 grams of protein in a serving. But amino acids really, again, the more the better, up until a point that most people aren't going to reach anyway. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a fair way to put it or not. It seems a little loosey-goosey.
Can you take lean after
you eat? Yes, you can take it after you eat, for sure. For sure, because it's not just, it would be more beneficial earlier prior to meals, but I would still take it though, because you got some other things in there that are beneficial for metabolic health and weight management.
Right.
Okay. I love this question by Anonymous about, will we ever package some of these tubs in bags? Guys, we are seriously pursuing a more environmentally friendly packaging. We recognize, I hate the fact, thankfully, these are not single servings, right? They're not single-use plastics, thankfully, because we're a big believer in not using excess plastic. Trust me, we love the environment. We want to take care of it, do our part, be good stewards of it. So you'll see more bag usage because the bag usage is less material. Yes, you will see more bag usage, but you'll also see more recyclable plastics in our game as well. Okay. All right. Look, the maintenance dose for lean when you work your way up to it is 6 a day. That is, and actually, it's 6 capsules. It's a lot that we try to get in there. 180 capsules for 30-day supply. Could have put it in a scooper, but it would have been a terrible flavor profile and the whole thing.
Laura, what about getting your protein from foods versus protein from shakes? I don't really know where your question is leading with that, but we typically digest almost all, especially when it's the whey protein, like the full 20 grams. But I was actually just listening to this interesting podcast about it. So say like you ate a steak that maybe has like 25 grams of protein, but after your body breaks everything down, what you're absorbing of that protein is not that 25 grams. They even went to say like ground ground meat is easier for our body to absorb the protein from, because it is already broken down. Our body doesn't have to do that extra work to break it down because it's already ground. So it's just interesting stuff. But they were saying, you know, like basically with the whey protein isolate, you absorb almost all of that 20 grams. So it has to be a balance of how to get the right amount of protein in. And where shakes really come in handy is, first of all, convenience 110%. So if you're going and reaching for that, you know, fried something to get some food in, you know, it's really because you're, you know, going through the drive-through, convenience food of this, but it's also hard to get the amount of protein that your body needs without over consuming in calories, right? So, I mean, that's why 100 calories for 20 grams of protein, it's very, very easy to get it in there. And even if somebody is really struggling to get it in, 100 calories, you drink a shake in between each meal, there's an extra 40 grams of protein for only 200 calories. It's very doable.
Source of vitamin D. So the D3K2 is lamb's wool. In the children's multi that's coming out, there is a little bit of vitamin D in there, and that's the organic lichen. That's plant-based. So there's a little, yeah. All right, now numbers for liver function. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is like really taking the world by storm. We're starting to see it in kids. This is crazy. A lot of it has to do with the foods we eat, the lifestyles we live.
Diet.
Yeah, diet's huge, guys, huge. But factor 4. But of course, if you've got liver malfunction, liver disease, liver impairment, then make sure you consult with your provider as you're going through lab testing and to make sure that you're cool with factor 4. But omega-3 fatty acids can be beneficial.
And email me. I can send you more information on fatty liver disease. Alcoholic or not, both.
All right. Sorry, guys, a lot of questions. We're already 15 minutes in. Lisa said earlier.
Very specific, like health condition questions, please email me, lisa@livegood.com. I can help direct it, you know, to you a lot better and give you more information than in a quick one. So like I said, we're trying to keep these quick because we know your time is extremely valuable. But by the way, you can check out all this, all of our products too, on our website. So click the link below in the description. So you'll see all of our products. If you click the Learn More section, we also have some training videos there. So a lot of information is there for you. And as always, our YouTube channel, because we've been doing a training Zoom or training, a live training every Monday for quite a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock out a couple more.
Yes.
Yeah, they want to know how to alkalize alkalinity,
How to make the body more alkaline.
Thank you. But look, it really starts in the morning. It has a lot to do with your morning because that's when your stomach is, your contents are gone. It's empty. Your stomach is empty. That's the time that you would focus on a remineralized water, hopefully reverse osmosis or filtered water, something that has a higher pH. But throughout the day, your body is producing acid in the stomach already. Homeostasis plays a huge role in our body system. So alkalinity matters, yes, but really overall it matters about the level of nutrition, the foods we're eating, and your body will really respond very, very rapidly to doing that. But as far as focus on the alkalinity of certain foods, probably less of a concern for most people, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Women's hormonal balance is not out yet. You will see that in the next 2 weeks. Super Reds can be taken any time of day, any time of day. I like to use it as a pre-workout, but also we'll use it in the middle of the afternoon pick-me-up.
I love it, late afternoon. Yeah.
Guys, no sugary beverages. Get rid of the caffeinated, or not caffeinated after 11 a.m., but seriously, the carbonated stuff throughout the day has got to go. Pump it up with something like the aminos or the reds, greens even. All right, cool. Farmers, some question about glutathione. I love glutathione, but we're not able to find something that would actually absorb have bioavailability orally. Ascorbic acid, you'll see a new form of our ascorbic acid. You will now see it as organic acerola cherry. That is the new, it's done. The next round of batches, the children's gummy has it in there. Everything that has ascorbic will now become acerola cherry. So awesome news, guys. Awesome news. I'm not sure who asked that question, but yep, rocking good on that.
30 servings of the vanilla protein. It's a goal.
It's coming next, actually. It's going to be in a bag. So we're rocking the 30 servings of vanilla into a bag. Protein prices have gone outrageously high, but we're keeping everything basically where it's at because that's what we're doing. We're not raising prices on you. It's crazy, though. These protein prices are going nuts. What about the collagen peptides as far as protein? Lisa, you want to comment on, do you count it? Collagen peptides. Can you count collagen as protein?
I mean, I
You
do,
don't-
but you always
don't.
say you shouldn't.
I say no, you don't count collagen towards your dietary protein goal because it has a unique amino acid sequence. It's different. It's not as much involved in muscle protein synthesis.
Right.
Collagen acts differently. There's a completely different amino acid sequence and different structure. So I do not count it. But if Lisa does, rock and roll. You don't need to consume that much collagen throughout the day anyway. You should be getting it out of some food, but 10 to 30 grams a day is probably more than enough.
Right.
Okay, cool. Well, geez, we're not getting anywhere near the end, guys. I'm so sorry. We're not. Yeah, Lisa, protein bar. We got a protein bar in the works.
Yes. Yes.
You know it.
Yeah.
You know it.
I mean, I feel you on that one because there's only 2 that I eat and it kind of gets boring, but it's hard to find one that's doesn't overdo the calories, but yet has enough to be a snack, has high enough protein, but low enough sugar and good fiber. Yeah. So we're working on it.
There's a question about, are we going to come out with anything for fat burning, some teas and some things and different like muscle enhancers? My answer to that is that typically that class of stuff is promoted as muscle enhancing, fat blasting. They're typically thermogenics and they're just super high in things that race your heart, like heart racing. So they increase your heart rate. Like caffeine is a thermogenic, right? Like, but some of these things are garbage and they're really they can be really contaminated. So if you're buying one now, make sure you know your brand and have the testing there to support the use. But we don't really support thermogenics all that much for that kind of stuff, but we love creatine. We love everything whey and the plant for muscle and everything like that. Protein bars are, yep, Christine, protein bars are coming.
Yeah, we will be redoing packs, adding things to packs. As we bring in more products, we will be adjusting, but like Ryan was just saying, we have like 5 more like about to be out the door. So we don't want to make any adjustments right now because then we're constantly going to keep changing packs on you guys.
We're all over.
Hold tight.
And we're being honest, straight up. Like, well, we're replacing the ascorbic acid, even though I don't mind ascorbic acid as much, but we're going to replace it. We're going to spend a little more and get some acerola cherry. I'll just be straight up with that. Can a 16-year-old use whey protein? Of course. I use whey protein as a 14 or 15-year-old. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. All right, cool. Yeah, sorry. I understand the CBD in Canada is a sticking point, guys. I think they don't like us importing it to them or exporting it into Canada because I think there's brands in Canada that they want it to stay supplied to their own residents. I don't really know. We've been getting really mixed results.
Right.
Mixed answers.
Also, this is a common question, but I just had Joel say, thank you. The advice I gave him on taking our multivitamin. So, and I actually get this question often. And what it is you feel a flushing sensation after taking the multivitamin. And sometimes people don't know what they took because they might take like 5 things at the same time. But the niacin, it dilates your blood vessels. So it can give you that flushing feeling. But really when that happens, guys, is if you're taking it on an empty stomach. So make sure you're taking it with food. And if you're like one of those people that has like a very light breakfast, take it after lunch. But having a solid base of food in your gut will prevent that.
Along those lines, this product right here calls paresthesia. That's that itching sensation you get when you take it. It feels tingly in your face and your skin. I love it. I love it. Most people love it once they realize why they're experiencing it and they're feeling it. It is because of the beta-alanine. Yep, guys, check it out. It's actually pretty cool. If you hate it, I get it, but I love it. All right, what would someone do to get better eye care? I understand this question. I'm losing my vision, slowly. I'm 43. Supplement with things like lutein and zeaxanthin, which are in our multivitamins. Those 2 are in there. They're helpful. Active form ubiquinol, yes. Is it okay to consume super green, super red, or protein? Has a problem with gout? Yeah, I mean, look, gout is, did we do a YouTube on gout?
We have not yet.
No, we should do gout.
Yeah.
We should do gout because I know a lot of people that suffer from gout.
And also each person is unique in what kind of aggravates it. So you do have to listen to your body and see what maybe could, flare things up for you.
What's good to strengthen the kidneys, guys? Kidney disease is a huge problem. We're seeing a lot of kidney transplants because of diabetes. So it starts with insulin resistance, which starts typically with obesity and overweight. So guys, pay attention. It's the number 1 cause of kidney disease, renal malfunction, renal dysfunction, eye disease, and amputations because the microvasculature, the small blood vessels get inflamed and start to.
So it's again always going back and looking at what the root cause is. If something's going on with your kidneys, are you diabetic? Are you obese? What's going on there? So you gotta figure out what the root cause is of everything.
Yep. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you. Yes. Appreciate you staying tuned in with us. We will always try to stay under 15 minutes. It's at 25 because we just love
Yeah, it's
you
tough.
guys and interacting with all of you.
Yes, for sure. And we're going to go ahead and put a link up to our previous month's Q&A. So if you guys missed that, maybe your questions were answered there, but it's a great watch.
You guys
All right.
rock. Have a great day.
Thanks,
See you next
guys.
time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.